Is it meant to be quiet? Oh yeah, it is meant to be quiet. I was kind of confused, like, why is this so quiet? Oh, fuck, what voice I gave you this guy? Somebody help! I think it was something like that. Oh, look, it's Mr. What was it again? Finch? No, the name's Filch. Phineas Filch. Keep on pilfering. I'm gonna do something sacrilegious. I don't know if it's sacrilegious actually, but I'm warm and I have socks on. I'm not gonna have socks on. I did actually prepare a drink as well, so luckily I am gonna stay hydrated, except I just put it by the computer. Is it warm now? No, only the handle is warm. Okay. So, what seems to be the problem, Mr. Filch? Oh, it's just terrible, I tell you. Come quick. Okay, what's the deal with him all of a sudden? Right, anyway, like, was it? Yeah, it was Spells. Spells came back last time I played this, and yeah, he kinda looks like a Tanuki or something. Especially with the eyes, or just a pound, I don't know. Looks like some kind of mask. It's Amazing Ninetales mask! The Amazing Ninetales. Oh, right, the wrestler who appeared during the festival special event. What's this mask doing here? He never take off his mask like this. Someone must have killed him. What? Why would I do such a thing? Let's go and talk over there in private. Look, there's some white hair caught up inside this mask. There's a white hair inside. So, what makes you believe that the Amazing Ninetales has been murdered? You really wanna know, huh? It's the studious one, ain't ya? Yes, I mean, no, I mean, just tell me, please. Well, it's like this. I dreamed of becoming a wrestler myself. Hey, how about you join me in the quest for the champion belt, huh? Well, that team, me and my bandit mask, and you and the demon mask of yours. Demon mask? Huh. Wonder if I could make it big. Apollo, let's save your pro wrestling debut until after the trial. Oh, no, I wasn't actually. Why did I let him pull me into a topic like that? Come on, Apollo, ask him about the Amazing Ninetales murder already. I am trying. Amazing Ninetales is our village savior. Don't you forget it. His trademarks a gold cape made to look like 9 foxtails. He was through the ring, smacking down Temma Town wrestlers left and right. He sparked a monster craze, revitalizing Ninetales' veil in blink of an eye. Yep, saved the people from becoming a ghost town. Now it's a yokai town. Fair enough. The Amazing Ninetales really does sound, well, amazing. Yep, pretty amazing, huh? That was worshipped like a hero around here. I'm proud to be from the same village as him. Come to think of it, you look like kind of a monster yourself, Mr. Filch. Guess it makes sense that you come from the same village as the Amazing Ninetales. I know. A lot of people have told me I look like a yokai. Since when was that a compliment? Oh, hell. Ouch, what a big idea. What did he grab? Check your pockets. Oh, he reversed stole something. Hey, how'd you do that? Keep him. I got lots more. Alright, we got a photo. So you keep saying that Amazing Ninetales was killed. What's the story behind that? I say he was murdered because his mask washed up along the river outside. That's only part of it. The main reason is no one's seen it. The main reason is no one's seen him since the special event. We're around Ninetales Vale and was killed by Tamataro. Your village are really superstitious, aren't you? That we are. A lot of conspiracy there is too. Like the mayor's diabolical plot. The mayor? Of Tenma Town. What is he plotting? A rumor has it is planning to releasing Tenma Town. Must be once the merger. He'll open a forbidden chamber once he's in control. That's quite a tale. I ain't finished yet. There was only one person who could stop the mayor. Our hero, the amazing Ninetales. God, it kind of looks evil actually like that. He won the battle mayor of Tenma Town and stopped the municipal merger. Couldn't make this stuff up if I tried. Apollo, we still have to ask him about the alderman's murder, remember? Mr. Filch, you mind telling us what you were doing in the time of the murder? Well, I was in the caretaker's office, guarding the entrance like you, but said I should. I made double sure no one came in. I have a clear view of the foyer from where I work. Must have been talking about the small room in the upper right. Yep. Well, it depends on. If he's watching the TV, he can't see shit. It definitely looks like you can keep track of the comings and goings from there. And you have an alibi to back your statement up, Mr. Filch. I do indeed. I was with Mayor Tenma's as an aide. Florent Lebel is his name. So the two of you were together. That's a pretty sound alibi, alright. And nobody came in or out the manor around the time of the murder. I keep watching here the whole time. Didn't see a soul pass by. And if I did, that's a security camera would have spotted them. So no one came in or out around the time of the murder, huh? That means we're dealing with someone who's already inside when it happened. So, do you think this mask is the real deal? Without a doubt. Here's the mask worn by the amazing Ninetales. What about that white hair we found inside the mask? Wait, I just thought of something. Remember the golden animal fur we found at the crime scene? Could it have come from this mask? Look, there's even a spot where some fur is missing. And this place, then this places the mask at the crime scene at some point in time. Which means... What does it mean? That someone had a mask on them up there. Someone with white hair who is linked with the murder and is against the merger. No way. Did Amazing Ninetales and the Alderman actually be... Something wrong, Apollo? You should see the look on your face. Oh, no, it's nothing. Maybe Jinxie could tell us something since she works here. Let's go ahead and find the little Jinxie, the Tenma, the witch. Where is she actually? She must be around here somewhere. Definitely not here. Okay, Elaine? Perhaps here. Well, something's happening here. Cat tails noodles. Souvenirs, Ninetales. Deities matter. Yokai tofu? I don't know. Kinda cozy little area. Oh, look. There's Jinxie. Milk, cheese, yogurt, ice cream, and... That's literally out at grocery shopping. She must really like dairy products. A charm to make better milkshake and another to cure my lactose intolerance. I don't know why, but for some reason that made me think of Tricky. Because I think I watched one of the videos when we was talking about cheese and stuff like that, but she's lactose intolerant. This just made me think of that. Just gotta send her a goddamn charm against lactose intolerance. And some cheese. Maybe she should just stick to soy milk. Jinxie. Hey, it's me. Me? The demon lawyer. I'm trying not to sound energetic when I'm her because she kinda doesn't look energetic. Apollo. Who is she? Oh, right. This is your first time meeting each other. Also, I love each time he talks, that thing just fly by. This is Jinxie, Mayor Tenma's daughter. She was the first to discover the crime scene. Oh, wow, so she's the one who... Oh, hello. My name's Athena Sykes. I'll be helping Apollo defend your father at this trial. Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you too. Where's Trucy? She went back to the office ahead of us. But don't worry, Athena and I are on the case. Wait. How do you know How do I know you didn't... That you didn't gobble her up alive? Relax, I didn't eat her up, and I wouldn't do such a thing in the first place. Oh, poor little Trucy. I'm about ready for some tears of frustrations myself. She's quite, interesting character, huh, Apollo? Kingsley, do you remember any more of what happened? Not much, at least not yet. But you do think Iten Matara was the killer, right? That Yoka you saw at the festival? I don't know anything of that. But you said Tamataro murdered the Elderman. It's okay, Jinxie, you can tell... Jax, what was that for? People see things when they don't get enough sleep. What's gotten into her? So, if there is no monster, you admit I'm human? No, you're still demon. I give up. It seems like Jinxie doesn't want to talk about Tamataro for some reason. But that's precisely what we need to know about. Besides, she definitely thought there was a yokai there in the fox chamber. Jinxie, about this charm. That's... You gave me this when I was heading off to the scene of the crime. You thought Tamataro was the murderer. That's why you gave it to me, right? That's true, but... If there's anything else you could tell us, it would be really help. And I will help your father too. Alright then. Yay, Tamataro. Let's go. Why do you think Tamataro is the killer? I saw him. I saw him with my own eyes. Tamataro was right there in the manor. He escaped his prison and ran right by me. What? Jinxie, tell us everything you saw. I called the police after I stumbled on the scene. I was just about to head back to the festival ground when I saw Tamataro right around here. He was running right at me. I was paralyzed with fear, but there was no one around to help me. The foul beast raced by me towards the foyer. It was the foyer. Mr. Filch and Mr. LaBelle were supposedly in the foyer at the time. I missed they would have seen Tamataro too. Sounds like we better get their statements. Considering Jinxie's mental state, her eyes should have been playing tricks on her. Apollo. Remember the picture in this paper? Someone caught the Tamataro flying through the air. I wonder if it's the same Tamataro Jinxie says she saw. Don't be ridiculous. Tamataro is the killer, and he can fly too. Okay, so Amazing Ninetales. Because we're gonna ask her about that as well. So, no one knows Amazing Ninetales' true identity. They say no one ever saw him without his mask. And does that want to make you know even more? I'm trying to pour up a drink while I'm talking here. That's why matches where wrestlers try to expose their opponents are so popular. Wait, you mean expose as in strip them naked? You even think like a demon. The only thing the winner removes is the loser's mask. To have your mask torn off is the worst humiliation a wrestler could suffer. That's why their masks are more important to them than their life itself. So you see, these unmasking matches are life and death battles for the wrestlers. That means this mask didn't just happen to wash up along the riverbank. No one can stop the amazing Ninetales. She'll be shocked if she finds out he's really the alderman. About the yoker you saw in the scene of the crime. Anything else standing out? Actually, I heard this strange jangly sound. Jangly? Can you be a little more specific? My memory is kind of fuzzy, but I vaguely recall seeing Tenmataro holding a staff or something like that. Maybe that's what was making the strange sound. Does Tenmataro usually carry a staff? Good question. I never heard anything like that, and it's not shown in the scroll. About any other documents? Any of them show Tenmataro with a staff? This is the only known document depicting Tenmataro. After all, those who needlessly depict the demon are forever cursed. And what's the deal with the Tenmataro you saw, Jinxie? Why didn't you tell us you saw Tenmataro earlier? Actually, Mr. LaBelle told me not to tell. Mr. LaBelle? Papa's aide. Oh, right, the other guy who was supposedly in the foyer at the time of the crime. What exactly did he tell you? Keep the village superstition in mind before you go talking about seeing Tenmataro at the time of the crime. Village superstitions? They say you must not gaze upon Tenmataro, but in the event that you do look, and then tell anyone what you saw, Tenmataro will claim your soul. And that's something everyone here knows. Sounds like a bunch of baloney to me. Uh-huh. Everyone from babies to the village elders know about it. But I didn't because I'm not from around here. Hey, come to think of it. Why is everyone hiding their faces? Hey, you there. You mustn't stare at Matara like that. Lower your eyes. Steal your soul if you're not careful. Huh? Steal my soul? Seriously? Apollo, do you think this LaBelle guy actually believes in Temataro? I seriously doubt it. It's not even from around Ninetales Vale. Then why would he try to keep Jinxie from talking? Good question. I think we better get and have a word with him. Time to unmask this monster of a mystery. The last time I saw him, LaBelle, he was relaxing in the foyer. Bueno, next up, the mayor's foyer, eh? With any luck, he'll be there waiting for us. Right, let's go. Oh, automatic again, okay. There's no one here. I guess our luck isn't so good when it comes to Mr. LaBelle. Maybe he's out for a walk or something. Somebody left something on the sill in the caretaker's office window. Tematara Pro Wrestling Howling Wolf versus Pretty Boy Vampire. Fuck yeah. Blow by blow commentary by Timothy Twilight. Yeah, I know that must be a hell of an Easter egg because first of all, his name is Timothy Twilight. A wrestler with a Howling Wolf versus Pretty Boy Vampire. I am pretty certain what they're trying to do there. It was at 3. Wait, hold on. Do we have any... shit, we don't actually have when it died. Eh, what do you think you're doing? It's... This Oh, Mr. Flinch. What can we do for you? Bishop was going to scream monster, which really isn't much of a stretch. Ain't nothing I need to do. Need you to do for me, but what business do I got that you got with my TV listings? Oh no, it's just caught my eye. Can I ask you if you watched this pro wrestling program today? Yep. Just match between a couple of rank amateurs though. I'm still like, each time he's gonna talk about this, I'm gonna think Twilight, and the funny part is him talking about two amateurs. That was a complete disaster. I reckon even I could have done better than that. Seriously, doubt that. Oh, I can't get that out of my head now. I almost forgot. There's something I wanted to ask him. Mr. Filch, did you see anything unusual around the time of the murder? For example, Temataro or something like that. Temataro? So you did see him. Aye. How clean and shiny your forehead is again today, Mr. Loyosa. Better shine it up every day like a pearly. They real pearly-like. The lady must love it. Don't change the subject, and for your information, that was a seriously bad attempt of flattery. Jinxie said she saw Tamataro flee towards the foyer. So you must have seen him too if you were here. Yeah. Yipes. I really pushed the button there, didn't I? Well, did you see anything or not? Oh dear God, this guy. That's quite enough. I must ask you not to pester my friend anymore. Yipes. Now, forgive me for being pestered, sir. And you are? I am Florent LaBelle. Belle Divine, a professional aide for the Major Damien Tenma. Belle Divine? More like yokai grotesque. This place is crawling with monsters. Yeah, it is actually kind of creepy. Pretty certain he has Botox on his lips or something. Kind of looks like that. Oh, excuse you. What the heck was that for? Oh, just a little cologne. You had a look of stinky sweat about you. A look? Wait, how the hell do you look about stinky sweat? It's from my own original brand of cosmetic called Je suis la Belle. Oh, what a heavenly scent. I think you just paralyzed my olfactory receptors. I suppose such a scent would be difficult for a peasant to appreciate. I'll have you know that it's this brand number 5, Bonjour. Wait. It's my way of introducing myself. Enjoy. Where's my bottle of adieu so I can return the favor? Enough about the cologne. Please tell us what you saw around the time of the murderer. I heard you were the one who told Jinxie not to mention that she saw Tamataro. Why that little... So, she told you she saw the demon, didn't she? Mr. LaBelle, do you mind if I ask where you were, whether you believe in the village superstitions? Oh, please. It was merely tried to keep with the traditions. Nevertheless, I will say this. I wouldn't stick my nose in this whole Tamataro business if I were you. Bad things happen to those who do. That much is true. He is one scary monster. That's crazy. You really expect me to believe that monsters are real? Oh, well, you're real and you sure look like a monster. Look who's talking. So, Mr. LaBelle, you didn't... Ow! My eyes! Little Jinxie has an active imagination. Isn't that right, Phineas? That right? Didn't see nothing, especially not Temataro. Yes, for me, I only see things of beauty. That's why I can barely see you. The funny part is, you said barely, which means you can still see me, so ha! Suck on that! I got 2 words for this guy, total freak. Bit. So, your alibi. Could I ask you what you were doing in the time... doing at the time of the crime? In other words, you would like to hear my alibi? Huh. To think you'd suspect me of all people. No, it's just a formality. I am pretty certain I'm gonna be blind. How dare you doubt me? That's an affront to beauty itself. Yeah, I can't see straight with you blinding me with that thing. I like that spritz really helped. What were we doing, you ask? Go ahead, Filch. Answer the question. At the time of the crime, we were in this foyer. Exactly. Good answer, Filch. Good answer. Yeah, just repeating what you told. You have said quite enough. What is with these two? Great, now he's gonna be... got me talking like that. I'm quite through here. I am very busy man, you know. Right, well, thanks for your help. So these two were in the foyer, but didn't see Tamantaro. Come along, Filch. Where are we going? Oh, right, gotta practice the statement for tomorrow. Yeah. You're going to dig your own grave with that big mouth of yours someday. What does he mean, practice statements? Now, if you would excuse me, it's time to touch up my makeup. Apollo, I know this sounds strange, but Mr. LaBelle seems unusually preoccupied with Tamataro. Really? How can you tell? Well, it's kinda hard to explain. You see, I can read people's emotion from the tone of their voice. You mean you have good ears? Well, something like that. People's emotions are expressed in the tone of their voice. And my ears can pick up on even the subtle tones for some reason. That's an interesting skill, but what do you mean he's preoccupied with Tamantaro? I'm not exactly sure, but it's like when he was obsessed with the thought of Tamantaro. That's what I picked up from his voice, anyway. Everywhere we turn in this Tenmataro, there's Tenmataro that. We should go and talk to the mayor, too. Sounds like a plan. We need to get to the bottom of that rumor about him waiting to release Tenmataro. Something I kind of like with this game, though, is like the... Also, there's a lot of automatic movement. I don't think the other games really had that much of automatic movements. Something wrong, Apollo? Where did your enthusiasm go? What am I doing asking the mayor if he has even thought about releasing Tamataro? At best, he'll think I'm an idiot. At worst. Oh, he's here. The problem is when I played this once before this chapter. So I don't really have a voice for some people. Oh, it's nice to finally meet you. I'm Mr. Justice's partner, Athena Sykes. I'm looking forward to working with you, Mr. Tenma... Taro? Ah, yes. I look forward to working with you too. I'm trying to more or less make like an evil sounding thing, but it's not the easiest. Apple is just kind of gentle looking, as I imagined. Excuse me? Lucky for you, after that blunder you just made. There was something I wanted to talk to you about. There are rumors going around about how you want to or did set Tamataro free. What utter nonsense! They always assume the worst of me because of the way I look. But those rumors have a shred of truth, I tell you. A little touchy about his appearance, isn't he? What he really needs to work on is his people skills. So, rumor has it that you want to push the merger through in order to release Tenmataro. Of course, that's a bunch of baloney, isn't it? Sorry for offending you. So that's the talk around the town, is it? I can see how that would make you angry. What if Jinx's schoolmates start teasing her about this? Huh? I must break out of here at once. Her tormentors must be taught a lesson. No, wait, first we have to get you not a guilty verdict. Don't try to stop me. This is about a father's duty to his darling daughter. Hold tight, Trixie, Jinxie. Dad is coming to save you. Relax, we'll look out for your daughter until we can get you free. Is that so? You don't need me to go straight and things out myself. Oh boy. Probably call it in the SWAT team if you showed up at the school. Oh right, I want to ask you about the reason behind the merger. It seems like you were rather forceful in the pushing for the municipal merger. Did you really want Ninetales Vale that badly? Yes, well, it's quite an attractive price in terms of tourism. Oh, yeah, you're lying there. Wait, I'm feeling what I think I'm feeling. Sure, I play a bit of hardball, but only when it deemed necessary. I knew it. My bracelet is reacting. What is it, Apollo? Mayor Timmerman not be telling the whole truth. Really? How can you tell? People invulnerably tense up when they lie. That's where my bracelet here comes in. I can sense when the person I'm talking to is feeling tense, because it begins to feel tight on my arm. No way! You can do that? Wait, so you believe me just like that? Sure, each of us have our own special gifts. Oh yeah, Athena has a gift too, her special sense of hearing. Still, what do you think about the mayor is lying about? I don't know, but it's our job to find out. It's been a while since my bracelet last reacted like this. Let's see if they still remember how to do this. This is the first time it actually happens outside of a trial, actually. There we go. Yes, I remember this feeling of intense concentration. The ability to the smallest twitch, the slightest frown, and that no one else can see. Now, Major Temel was lying somewhere in that statement he just made. And when he lied, a certain habit made itself clear just under his right eye. I just have to shift my viewpoint up and focus on the reveal. Right, I got him now. His nervous tellers appear that he's trying to pull the wool over my eyes. Yeah, it's like twitching. I can pour over every word he says and wait for it to appear. And when it does, I'll perceive. I feel it's kind of slower than the original game, or not original, the first game. Which I kind of like, because it was so difficult, like... Mayor, please. You can trust us with the truth. The truth? I do not understand. When you mention tourism, the bottom of your right eyes are twitching. What nonsense is this? So what if it did? Please tell us about your merger bid. What more is it to tell? Why were you really seeking to merge with Ninetales Vale? I already told you. Tourism. The monster craze really revitalized the village, making it quite the prize. You really don't trust us, do you? What are you talking about? The village has probably been hot property ever since the monster craze started. Has it not? I think you're yet to realize what you're saying contradicts the fact. You say that the monster craze really revitalized Ninetales Vale, so you felt it would be an attractive price for its tourism. But that would contradict this. This evidence proves you're not being entirely truthful. Oh, sorry, I take it all back. Forgive me. There was a fly that was driving me crazy. If that's how we deal with flies, I hate to see him really angry. So you think I'm not being entirely truthful? Yes. Yes, sir. This guy is seriously scary. Okay, so I managed to fuck up there. Wait, hold on. So what is it then? You felt it would be an attractive price for its tourism, but that would contradict this. This? Nope. Okay, kinda not was that one. What was it? What is it then? This? No, apparently not. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what it is. Something with tourism. This? The monster cranes is because that is not Ninetale Vale's wrestling. I think, is it? The monster, I don't know. Wait, was it? Wait, hold on. No, not auto. Fuck. Wrong button. Let me check. A photo of the hero who sparked the monster craze and saved Ninetales Vale from becoming a ghost town. Sparked Ninetales and rose up against the municipal merger. The villa was practically a ghost town before then. Ah. So you see, you wouldn't have possibly seen it as an attractive prize for its tourism. What's the real reason behind you pushing to merge Tema Town with Ninetales Vale, huh? Well, Ah. Oh. He just froze, huh? Kinda looks like a weird-ass home makeshift bald cap. Are you ready to tell me the truth now? Honestly, I never wanted to pursue the merger in the first place. But I had no choice. If I wanted to protect my darling little Jinxie. Protect her from what? I received a threat. It said earlier I go through with the merger, or my Jinxie dies. What? How awful. Who would do such a thing? I do not know, but whoever blackmailed me must be connected to the murder. Wait, so you think the blackmailer and the killer could be one and the same? Alderman QB was immersively popular. So you have to ask, who would want him dead? The blackmailer who wanted the merger at all cost, had all the motive in the world. But why go from blackmailing to murder? The merger protects one to disappear just because the alderman was killed. What if there was another reason for the murder? Like what? Maybe the blackmailer discovered Alderman Kyoba's secret identity. And his secret identity was a threat to the blackmailer's murder scheme. What does secret identity have to do with anything, Apollo? Yeah, we might have that. I guess I'm done here. Can I show this to him? Major Telma, please take a look at this if you would. That's the amazing Ninetales mask. What is the meaning of this? This mask was almost definitely at the crime scene. And there was some white hair inside. White hair, you say? There was but one person with white hair in the manor that day. What are you saying? You know which man I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about Rex Cuby, the amazing Ninetales himself. No way. The older man was impossible. Wait, come to think of it, Alderman QB was a former pro wrestler. So the blackmailer turned killer when he discovered the Alderman's secret identity. Did I just say that? But yeah, the amazing Ninetales was a threat to the blackmailer's scheme. He opposed the merger and as a result single-handedly sparked the monster craze. Even so, what was the mask doing in the crime scene? There had been an event at the manor. And maybe Alderman Kirby had taken part in it, if you get my drift. This is absurd. Mr. Mayor, do you have proof of the threat that was made against you? Yes, a blackmail letter. Unfortunately, it disappeared after the murder. I've been carrying it around in my briefcase, but now it suddenly vanished. I'm trying to still find a voice for him. I think I managed to get it. The blackmailer must have taken it with them after they killed the alderman. Well, at least we clearly established the killer's motive. Mayor Tenma, Major Tenma, visiting hours are over. It would appear this meeting is adjourned. Apollo, do you really think that the Temataro that Jinxie saw is the killer? I don't know. All I know is that there's no such thing as a monsters. What about the newspaper article? Could the killer have purposely freed the Temataro to do their dirty work? Come on, there wasn't any Temataro to release in the first place. Yeah, but the only suspect the police have right now are the mayor and the yokai. Well, probably be arguing whether there was a yokai involved in the courtroom tomorrow. I can already see the look of disbelief on the judge's face. Apollo, are you alright? I'm fine. I'll think of something. I better, because I can't very well say a flying demon was the killer. At this point, the only thing I know for sure is tomorrow is going to be a doozy of a trial. Woohoo! The best trials. Oh, I also realized I forgot something. We're gonna welcome Elan Ghost as well. They started following me yesterday, so we weren't capable of actually welcoming them. So let's welcome them now. I just realized, how many followers do I have? Do I care? No. Am I curious? Absolutely. 471. Holy shit, though. We're up at 470. I know, like, there are many people, especially people I know, that is around 500 to 600, and I'm still on, like, 400, but for me, that's still a ludicrous number. It really is. As I said, I'm gonna abuse the shit out of this save state as well. Yeah, we're gonna continue. We have time. I am gonna... today is a 3-hour stream, but I am gonna end my stream at 7:30 because I'm gonna get some supper, and after that I'm gonna play some D&D. We're gonna play some Pokemon D&D. We've not done that for at least a month? Yeah, actually I think it's been about a month, because I did discuss around my birthday, which was the 7th, about if I was gonna ask the DM for something. At least someone asked me if I'm gonna do that, because he does that sometimes. And first of all, I wouldn't even know what to even ask for. And yeah, he came back like last week or something. So we have not been playing for a month. You okay, Athena? You've been really antsy ever since we got here. I'm just excited. This is my first real court case after all. Hold on, I'm just gonna bring the fan over here because it is actually kind of sweaty. How? I have to put it over here. There we go. Now I have the fan blowing some wind at me. The fan is kind of short, so it doesn't like bring up to where I am. But at the same time, we can do something here. Is it still around here? The cord, or did I move this cord? Yeah? Yeah, it is. Ah, there we go. I have two fans now. I have my cold air fan that is energized by my computer and my normal fan, because the cold fan is actually further up, so that actually can hit my body. I don't have any water in it, so it's just blowing air, but it is still kind of cool, so that's nice. I'm gonna have to get more sound for myself, because those are kind of loud. I know exactly just what she needs. Athena! Did you ever learn about indoor and outdoor voices? Just trying to show you the best way to relieve your pre-trial jitters. By scaring the daylight out of me. No, I find that shouting I'm fine in a loud voice really relieves stress. It's a part of my course of steel, voice workout, they must before every trial. You want me to shout? Here. That's right, here. I'll go first, then you try. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine. Alright. I'm Athena Sykes. I'm fine. Yes, you are. I think that actually worked. Thought it might help. Always works for me. An old friend of mine from junior high, and I say it all the time. I see. A proven remedy to calm the soul. I like it. Just gonna move my fan a bit so it... There we go. Hey, how about we finish off with a race around the courthouse? The point is to relieve stress, not to get totally exhausted. What's with the racket, you two? Oh, Mr. Right. Just a little voice workout. Hey, what's with the suit? Oh, this. I was thinking about getting my attorney's badge back, that's all. That's all, that's a huge news. But why now? I have a feeling I'll be needing it in the courtroom again sometime soon. But we can talk about that another time. No fair, inquiring minds want to know. But wow. Yeah, that was basically the first game. I'm so used to seeing him in his usual laid-back clothes. That suit makes him look like $1 million. By the way, have you heard about the prosecutor getting assigned to the case? Yeah, he's serving time, but before that he was a prosecutor. He also uses psychology. That's right, I've heard a rumor about how he was back before his conviction. Using the power of suggestion, he can make even the most stalwart defendants confess. Psychology in the courtroom. Been hearing a lot about that lately. So, he must be a pretty scary guy, considering he's a prison inmate and all. So they say. They also say it could cut you down if you talk too much. I knew it was gonna be bad news. It's probably just hyperbole. At least I hope for your sake. Wait, so it's true or not? Yeah, let's just say you should be concise and choose your words carefully. If you'd like to keep that head of yours attached to the rest of your body, that is. Yikes. Better tone down my course of steel too. So, are you all ready? That'd be a good idea to check the court record again before stepping into the ring. Right, Mr. Wright, but I'm fine. I'll be watching from the gallery. Good luck. Thanks. Do you have a pocket watch? I like pocket watch. I did find a pocket watch in like a retro store or something. Fuck, that was an expensive thing. The odds of pulling this off are ridiculously low. But that's nothing new. Believing in our client, seeking the truth, that's what we all do. Hang in there, Mayo Temmer. Here comes justice. Bam, bada bum 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 bum, bada bum 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 bum, bada bum 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 bum. Yes, all rise. The court is now in session for the trial of Damien Timmer. Apollo Justice, defense team leader, is ready, Your Honor. I know that big booming voice anywhere. As cheaper as ever, Mr. Justice. But who is the young lady next to you? I'm Athena Sykes, Mr. Justice's junior partner, and fresh out of law school. Well now, full of beans too, huh? Excellent. Make an old man feel young again. Now for the prosecutor. It appears the prosecution is not ready yet. I fear, for I shall explain. This is a minor procedural complication, Your Honor. The prosecutor for this case is being escorted from prison as we speak. Prison? No! Oh yes, of course, I almost forgot he's currently serving time. I really like doing voices because for some reason I can just be absolutely silly.
Prosecutor Blackwell's an inmate.
Alright. Impressive show off.
Even a convicted murderer still got a job to do and duties to perform.
Do they really? Do they really? I'm trying to know what sort of voice I should give him, but I don't really know. He's just standing there. Who's that with his back to us over there? That's him. I'm sure of it. Prosecutor Blackwell. Is the prosecution ready? Enough jabbering. Get on with it already. I think that will work. I don't know. Of course. Forgive me. Why are all people related to this case so scary? Very well, Prosecutor Blackwell. Your opening statement, if you please. What's the matter? Must we continue with fritter away time like this? It is right there in the indictment. An opening statement would be pointless. Pointless? But, looks the cat, or in this case, the prosecutor has the judge's tongue. But, we need an opening statement as an overview of the case at hand. Well then, your boldness. If it's so very important, why don't you do the honors? Who? Me? There's a term for people who whine and fuss about how they need silly, useless things. And then decide they no longer want them once it's theirs. A selfish old fool. Wait, was that the prosecution's opening statement? Old authors such as you are a plague upon the young. I pity your grandchildren. Or is it great-grandchildren? All these years I thought the opening statement was the prosecutor's job. But I suppose I could give it a try. A nice change of pace. What? He actually fell for that? Yeah, he did. That must have been the power of suggestion Mr. Wright was talking about. I don't feel that was the power of suggestion. That was just the power of what, I don't know what, talking shit about someone. The opening statement. Let's see here. The victim was one Rex Yubi, alderman of Ninetail Vales. And the defendant, Damien Tenma, major of Tenma Town, is accused of his murder. And why, pray tell, was the major arrested? His prints were the murder weapon. Plus he had a motive, the elimination of the biggest roadblock into the municipal merger. With the caretaker and the secretary, other potential suspects both have alibis. And his daughter, who was also in the vicinity at the time of the incident, has no motive. So, in a nutshell, I have to say, the charges against the defendant are incontrovertible. Bravo, your boldness. Your years of experience shine bright like your head. Oh, flattery will get you everywhere. He's playing Simon Says with a judge. Moving right along now, let's hear from our first witness for today, Detective Fulbright. Alright, here's to say. Wait, are you bring in the statement? Witness, please state your name and occupation. I am the detective assigned to the case, Bobby Fulbright. Oh, that I also keep tabs on all Blackwell here. Oh, I also heard you were provided protection if it ever came to that. It would seem I have been sorely underestimated. Wait, who's protecting who from what? And where? And huh? Still, I truly believe anyone can turn their life around, even old Blackwell. Fulbright. Save your platitudes for funerals. Get on with your statement. Ah, that's the spirit. Justice be swift and true. I see it in your eyes. There is hope for your rehabilitation and return to society. I will never give up upon you. Prosecutor Blackwell doesn't seem to intimidate Detective Fulbright. Well, you know what they say. Ignorance is a bliss. Oh, so that's why Detective Fulbright was assigned to Blackwell. He's so oblivious. That would make sense. Unfortunately, that would make sense. Which is kind of fun, but also... Yeah, sorry for you, mate. Now, let's have your first statement, Detective Fulbright. Oh, you got it. But first, I'd like to say to the defense that justice will ultimately prevail. Woo! Prevail time. Alderman Kirby was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall. The fingerprints of the defendant Damien Tenma were found on the weapon. At the time, Kirby was asleep from drug he unwillingly ingested. Major Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed the statue and struck back. Alderman Kirby has been slipped some kind of sleep-inducing drug. That's right, the accused was scared because the alderman was a former pro wrestler. So he slipped him a drug to make sure he'd be cold and defenseless. Out cold and defenseless. Here the autopsy report. Hold on, people have said I say that wrong. Autopsy. Autopsy report to prove it. Fuck, I had to rethink because my brain just went with like, hold on, someone told me I said it wrong. I have to say with an O, which is something we Swedish have. I think there are some other places that has that, but we have it as well. Other victim managed to attack his attacker, despite being impaled by a spear. That sounds almost superhuman. Is it even possible? Well, he was a former pro wrestler after all. That spear was probably nothing more than a mosquito bite to him. Well, then he wouldn't die, would he? Not so fast, don't try to brush it all off by saying the alderman has been pro wrestler. Do you really expect to believe he could fight back after being skewered by a spear? Never heard of the incredible feats which man is capable in a pinch, have you? Like the samurai of yore, wrestlers can battle through intense pain. It sharpens their senses. I used to talk about it with a former wrestler I met to the clink. I'm trying to still find a voice for him, because I do like this little side thing with my jaw. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for him. Does it now? No, that doesn't work either. Doesn't. I'm trying to find something. I'm even trying to play around with my tongue to find something. Does it now? Then perhaps we should test the theory on you with the edge of my blade. I can't find a voice for him. I'm trying to find something that seems different. And so your life is spared for now. I think that's the best I can do for now. I don't know. Please let those shackles be made of titanium, and I don't want to die. My investigations are as thorough as they are foolproof, or my name isn't Fulbright. I vow to resign immediately if I ever made a false arrest. The accused prince were on the weapon, and he's the one without an alibi. Quite decisive evidence, wouldn't you agree, your baldness? The defendant is sounding guiltier by the minute. He has a judge leaning towards guilty verdict, and the trial's just barely begun. What more? A curious rumor about the accused is making waves. They say he seeks the merger for the purpose of freeing Tenmataro from his imprisonment. Truth to be told, I can't think of no real reason to show interest in that backwater burg. Perhaps he has a complete nutter and really does seek to release an imaginary demon. Either way, he is raving mad and more than capable of murdering the alderman. Oh, the people have started talking. Order in the court, everybody. Bloody hell. There will be no gossiping in my court. Your baldness, please take a gander at those charms plastered across his cranium. I hear they meant to keep him safe from possession by the demon Tenmataro. Then again, perhaps he's already under the demon's spell. Behold, the lunatic appears poisoned to lunge you at any moment. The rumors and quirks of Mayor Tenma have no relevance to this case. Besides those charms on his head, they're just fashion statements. I think. Come to think of it, such thing doesn't seem relevant to the case, do they? I'm glad she's here to pull him back to the light. The prosecution will refrain from dragging our client's reputation through the mud. Oh, what a dreadful, fearsome lass we have here. Phew, thanks for that lifeline, Athena. Careful, Apollo, he just judged dancing in his palm of his hand. The power of suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Summer Blackbeard's arsenal. He's trying to manipulate everyone's impression to suit his objectives. This guy really is bad news. In that case, it seems that the victim did manage to defend himself despite being impaled. What sort of weapon did he use against his attacker? None other than this statue right here. Yeah, it appears to be a statue of two strange creatures locked in battle. Two yokais, to be exact. On one side is the nine-tailed fox, on the other Tenmataro. Quite interesting, if you think about it. It's as though this very case were rendered in art. No prints could be lifted. Mr. Justice, may I proceed with your cross-examination? Wait, what was supposed to cross-examine? I know we were cross-examining him, but what statements? I don't even remember he had a statement. We just went with talking about our dude. Hold on, can we like check the... Oh wait, when did he die? Did we have that? 3:20. Okay. So we have this, the kind of proof of Twilight being on television at this moment. Jinx's statement, okay.
Hold it!
So, those weapons on the wall of the Fox Chamber, I presume those are real? I think keeping real weapons around like that is rather dangerous. Oh, no matter what he collected, the alderman insisted it be real deal. For instance, he had real demon's club in his possession. Apparently none of his ancestors claimed it after defeating a demon in battle. Oh, on one of his ancestors. What? That's got to be an old wives' tale. The alderman had pure unadulterated justice flowing in his vein. I can't even say that word. Whatever he did it right. We lost a real champion of justice in his death. Nothing but claptrap and balderdash, if you ask me. Now stop blathering and tell us about the weapon. Your wish is my command. Isn't it the other way around? In a sense.
Hold it!
Oh wait, hold on. Court record. Aha! He didn't have gloves. Hold on. We're gonna skip this. Well, technically skip, I'm gonna actually use the voice. If I could actually speak. Hi. I venture to say he did not wipe off the prince. Because he could not. What do you mean? Looks like he wants you to figure it out. Well, don't just stand there. Show him who's boss. I'm totally lost. So why don't you tell me the answer already? You didn't even say anything. I don't think he saw that plea for help. You feel alright, kid? Running a fever, perhaps? Ah, which trial came to with a reset button. It cannot do this. Oh, it actually paused. What the fuck? Well, the specific may be yet come to light. Please proceed, Detective Fulbright. At the time all my cubit was asleep from the drug unwillingly ingested. May Telma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him with a human shish kebab. But a sudden pain jolted the victim awake. He grabbed the statue and struck back. Yeah, but this has no fingerprints.
Objection!
This has no fingerprints. Did the alderman really strike the mayor? What? Are you questioning my sense of justice? Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs to stand on. You claim the alderman struck back the mayor put a spear through him. But the statue he supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory. It would appear that the defense has a counter-argument. Very well, let's see what the defense thinks is odd about this statue. There are no fingerprints. There are no fingerprints on this supposedly crucial piece of evidence. And if you look at the crime scene photo, you'll notice that the alderman isn't wearing gloves. Yes, I believe he's quite gloveless indeed. He's apparently not Mickey Mouse. If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, did you not? Apparently not. I don't even press the button, he did that himself. Did I arrest the wrong man? I don't know. Ask yourself that. You did it, Apollo. You knocked Detective Fulbright off his high horse. Well, it's just 1 point in our favor. Who do you suppose clubbed the major if it wasn't him? Well, if it wasn't the alderman, that means someone else must have clubbed the mayor. You mean there was a third party there in the Fox chamber? Exactly. And this could be the big break we've been looking for. But there does seem to be a hole in the prosecutor's argument. Prosecutor Blackwell, would you care to respond to the defense assertion? Apparently not. Do you have an eye in the back of your neck or something? Your mind is as dull as an unhoned blade, Justice Dono. Justice Dono? He's been watching too many samurai flicks. It will take far more than that to cut down Simon Blackquill. A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackwell. There is a perfectly good explanation for the lack of fingerprints on the statue. You might recall that blood-stained cloth found at the scene of the crime. Well, it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting at? He wiped the fingerprints. Hold on! Cause of death, stabbed with a spear, estimated time around that. The victim had been drug-induced slumber. Would he have enough time to actually wipe it with his cloth? On your mind, boy. Why was there blood on that cloth? Solve that riddle, and you shall see the hole you thought you found is but an illusion. Now let's see, how was that cloth used? It was used by QB as a head covering. Wipe up the blood. Maybe the cloth was used to wipe as much of the mayor's blood as possible, the statue. And in the process, the culprit inadvertently erased the alderman's fingerprints as well. So that is kind of has his voice. Objection. But the mayor did not bother. I can't do. I kind of like the one I did. I can't do a voice like that. I think. Object. Ah, god damn it. The mayor did not bother to wipe away his fingerprints on the murder weapon. I kind of got it, except I got it more like this. So it's more like this when he does it, rather than doing this. Why would he wipe down the weapon? Carefully now. Use a little brains you have left before you speak. Give me a do-over on that one, please. Now let's see. Oh. To wrap the statue? Maybe the old man wrapped the statue in the cloth. In short, it wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back at the mayor. Precisely. Bully for you, boy. I think I kinda got it. Like, I got it more darker than the way he has it, but I think he might. Apollo, don't let him start manipulating you too. You just closed the hole for the prosecution. I did. I did. Right. That statue wrapped in cloth will leave no fingerprints as plain as day. But this also proves there are no holes in our theory of the alderman striking back. Whoops. Now you see how dull your mind is. I'll make sure to sharpen it next time. A particularly frightened inmate once told me that he always tenderly honed his blades before he went to work, like a samurai of yore. A samurai? Sounds more like homicidal maniac to me. Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. Wait, so the inmate was murdering samurai prison chef? Apparently. Yeah, it would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all. Yeah, I was kinda attached to that hole. Now what? Apollo, I just thought of something. If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statue, who says someone other than the alderman did hit the mayor with it? Why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left fingerprints on it. Then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with a statue? Please illuminate us with wisdom, young lady. There's only one answer, the real killer. Prove the existence of this real killer, then. What evidence have you? Oh, I'll give you evidence, all right. Athena, are you sure about this? To borrow your words, Apollo, I'm fine. Take a look at this. Black feathers and tracks, all allegedly from a yokai, were found at the scene. I believe they were from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue. Is the defense actually suggesting some sort of monster killed that alderman? That's exactly what I am suggesting. No, Athena, you just lost what little credibility we had left. Yeah, sorry. I guess I got carried away. Mr. Justice, we're no time with deal with objections between members of the defense. Sorry, Your Honor. It's just this kid's still, well, a kid. Ouch. You meanie, I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright. So, is this court believe that the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it? No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman. Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer would do that? Why indeed? Mr. Justice, you seem as new as this as your partner is. Ouch. This I'm not reporting to Mr. Wright. You, boy, Fulbright. Explain his boldness, what these brats are missing. You know the who and why behind those feathers and tracks. What? You mean you can explain that? Our investigation prowess is without equal. I'm starting to think I choose the wrong profession. Very well, let's hear about these so-called yokai feathers and tracks. This entire case enters on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Nine Tails helped embolden the protesters. So he stoked the village's fear by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer. Hey, Cal, the funny part about this is like, oh, he did that to fabricate the killing. He was smacked in the head with that statue. Those feathers and tracks stoked the village's fears. Absolutely. We knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds. Those feathers only gave way to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accused demon, Tenma Taro, that is. Tenma who? Tenma Taro, the legendary demon locked away in the village forbidden chamber. From a young age, the villagers are thought to fear the great black feather demon. And thus were they blinded to other, more plausible explanations. Hold on for a second. Before we start letting our imagination run wild, isn't there someone else that could have been considered a suspect? Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at Kyobi Manor. And as a part of this event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of Tenma Taro. Obviously, this person is much more likely suspect than any legendary demon. Dullard, you are playing right in the killer's mind games. What? Listen here. The feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believe the murder to be the work of the real Tenma Taro. However, the police believes that the person in Tenma Taro's suit is the killer. The defendant sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the alderman. And thus our mentally deficient mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of the crime. Objection! Do you honestly believe Mayor Tenma would do something so suspicious? Objection! The evidence speaks for itself, Fulbright. Right! It was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The Amazing Nine Tails was fueling both the yokai craze and an anti-merger movement. Plus, He's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and a hometown favorite. That's why the Major picked and set out on the path of injustice. But do the people of Ninetales really believe a yokai is behind the crime? Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. And I must say, a crime that preys upon innocent, impressionable minds. Just so. And particularly silver-tongued inmate once had the following words for me. The innocent of heart are the easiest of prey. You don't say? What is this inmate, a con artist? No. He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap. Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey? Huh? I don't know. Yes, well, now then, the defense may proceed with their cross-examination. Yes? Well, the Tenma picked the... Made the Tenma panicked when the Amazing Ninetales helm embodied the prosecutors. Oh, I'm just gonna press anyway. The Amazing Ninetales. No one knows his true identity, right? That's right! And he was a lone wolf. Or in other words, he didn't belong to a wrestling federation. He appeared like a shooting star defending one Tenma Town wrestler defeating one Tenma Town wrestler after another. And before anyone knew it, he was a champion. Like the samurai of you. Surrounded thick with enemies, he cut them down one by one. It was a complete and utter loss for the face of Tenma Town Pro Wrestling. It was amazing! Even there was a real superhero, it would have been him. I dream of becoming a true champion of justice like him someday. I bet Detective Fulbright would be a great pro wrestler. He would even team up with Prosecutor Blackwell. A police detective and a prisoner in chains. You know, I think people would actually pay to see that. I know I would. Fair enough, actually. Huh. So you do understand the greatness of the Amazing Ninetales? Okay. So he broke in the village's fears by fabricating a monster. Did the murder and yokai evidence really stroke the villagers' fears? Absolutely! It had an immediate effect. The presumed return of the dreaded Tenmataro has been shaking in their boots. Oh my, is it really that bad? That superstitious lot. It is as if Jack the Ripper had been set loose in their village. The mere thought of that demon lurking is enough to spark a mass exodus. I see. That's a very persuasive argument. The mere thought of his honor buying into the Simon the Psycho Slash's words makes me want to spark my own exodus out of the courtroom right about now. So you see, there can only be one reason why anyone would plant the feathers on tracks. But it doesn't add up. What if you say is true? Why top it off with murder? What do you mean? You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence to stroke the village's fears. If so, then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman QB? Excellent point. It is, isn't it? So your honor agrees that there is no reason for the murder, correct? Perhaps the killing was the spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is the mayor made a startling discovery. A startling discovery? Why don't I like the sound of that? Alderman Kyubi's secret identity. Apollo! I think Prosecutor Blackwell has figured out Alderman's secret identity. But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? Oh, this is no good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the amazing Ninetales. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene. Oh my! But why would it have been there? The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-murder movement. Needed I say more? Well, oh, could it really be? Your baldness had an epiphany, I see. Our victim, Rex Cuby, was the amazing Ninetales. And the mayor's discovery of this fact was his motive for murder. We kinda got something like that when we investigated as well. Order in court, everybody. What a shocking development. A motive clearer than a crystal clear. What do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they tied the Elderman's secret identity to Major's motive for murder. At last we reach my real point. Why did the Alderman have to forge a secret identity? Does it not pique your interest, your baldness? I admit, it does. It is odd that he had to create this other persona, just to secretly participate in the anti-murder movement. Very astute of you, your baldness. Right, now take a look at this. If you value your dearest life, you will merge Ninetail Vale with Tenma Town. Do not tell anyone about this threat if you do consider your dearest good as dead. This blackmail letter was found in Alderman Cuby's pocket. Oh, that's the letter that got missing. A present that the Alderman's wife is in the hospital. And that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life. Wait, didn't the blackmail letter sent to Mayor Tenma go missing? Right after the Alderman's murder? You think maybe the killer took the letter from the mayor after the murder and planted it on the Alderman's pocket? It's possible, but we don't have any proof that that's what happened. Talking about being in the creek without a paddle. Yeah, that's not good. Mayor Tenma would have made a clear getaway if he just left after planting the yokai things. But he was knocked out cold by his sudden decision to kill the Amazing Ninetales. So it was the Amazing Ninetales counterattack that brought the entire crime to light. Wait a second. Fulbright's claiming that the mayor killed the alderman after planting the yokai evidence. Wait, hold on. And that the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after that. That can't be right? Yeah, because the blood is basically afterwards. Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to your testimony. Mayor Tenma killed the sleeping alderman after planting the feathers and tracks. Whoops, I pressed the wrong button technically. Yeah, we have to do something, Apollo, before they pin it all on the mayor. And we're going to need more proof that Mayor Tenma didn't plant the yokai stuff. How are we supposed to do that? Good question. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. There we go. But the thing is, like, the Mayor Tenma killed the sleeping alderman after. Okay, we're gonna do this, because if he killed after, that means there would be blood on the feathers. Objection! And there is not. Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair. What is this? You dare question my justice again? Yes, and I'm going to prove it to you. Take a look at this photo. This is the crime scene photo. Just what does this prove? It proves when the feathers and tracks were planted. But I've already told you, they were planted before the murder. The defendant planted the yokai evidence, then was knocked out while killing his victim. But that would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear when the feathers and tracks were left the scene. Yeah, over here. Aren't you just pointing at the yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice? Yes. See how the feathers are on top of the blood, and the tracks were made in blood. In other words, the yokai evidence would have only resulted after the murder. And then the Major must have planted the evidence after killing the alderman. But you said it yourself, the Mayor had been knocked unconscious thereafter. There would have been no time for him to plant evidence at all. Therefore, there must have been someone else beside the Mayor and the alderman in the crime scene. There must have been a mistake! Who knows? Order, everyone, order! Where is your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you? Evidence? No, I have evidence. In fact, I have an eyewitness testimony for you. You do? But how? Was my want sense of justice really just half-baked? He's taking this real hard. Apparently. Mr. Justice, what is this testimony regarding a third party that you claim to have? I have it right here, Your Honor. It is a sworn testimony of Mr. Tenma's daughter. The witness, Jinxie Tenma, saw a yokai in the hallway after stumbling upon the scene. It was a demon Tenma Taro. He said the source of those feathers and tracks. I love everyone is silent, but we did talk about before that someone was masquerading as him. So why is everyone like, oh, the last thing was just a mask? Are you talking about the real demon now? It's like, mate, please, for the love of God. Will somebody please say something? The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means. You dare mock this court of justice itself. You're unfit to bear your name, boy. Your baldness. It appears the defense authority here is delirious from exhaustion. Apollo, think of something quick before you're held in contempt of court. What do you think I'm trying to do? Before you decide whether I should step down, please hear me out. Very well, Mr. Justice, I'm all ears, but you better explain yourself well. What was this yokai you were talking about? It's actually in the statement here. Jinxie Tenma said that she saw Tenma Taro. After she discovered the crime scene and called the police, she came around the corner in the hall. It was around there. That's when she saw Tenma Taro fleeing towards the foyer. The defense asserts that whoever was impersonating this monster is the one who left those feathers and tracks behind, intentionally or otherwise. What? How incredibly unjust! Why haven't I heard about this before? Because someone actually told her to shut up about it. Apollo, the momentum has shifted in our favor. Just wait until the goddamn samurai turns his back again. Good. Now let's keep it that way. A little do you realize that though you're in the midst of a fray, your sword is broken. My sword? I didn't know I had one to break. Are you implying there's a problem with my claim? Consider this. If that yokai impersonator had indeed fled towards the foyer, that fool and that fop would have seen him. Oh, you mean Filch and Lebel. Now that you mention it, both Phineas Filch and Florent Lebel were in the foyer at the time. But they haven't stated that they saw a yokai, have they? Did you ever consider that yokai was but a figment of scared little girl's imagination? Why didn't those two see the Tenmataro impersonation pass by? Why didn't we ask them ourselves? I was just about to say that myself. No, really, I was. The defense would like to call in Phineas Flinch, caretaker of Kirby Manor, to the stand. I just know him. I know he must have know something. I suppose we can't ignore the fact that the little girl believes she saw a monster. I trust you have no objection to Mr. Justice request, Prosecutor Blackwell. I understand that Mr. Flinch is enjoying a nap out in the lobby. I knew that Tanuki was a rare find. Up! Spells! Someone else called that guy Tanuki. But when we captured him, I didn't think he'd end up a witness. Do with him as you will. Did you just say captured? No, wait, I don't want to know. Very well then. Byleth, please go and wake up Mr. Filch and escort him to the witness stand. Just gonna check the time as well, just in case. Will the witness state his name and occupation, please? My name's Filch. Phineas Filch, caretaker of Kenobi Manor. Oh, this is for you, your lordship. Just a little something I thought you might like. Oh my, a fabulous pair of shoes. Your honor will do just fine, Mr. Filch. It's those shoes again. Don't they belong to Detective Fulbright? Don't tell me Filch stole them again. They're all yours, your honorship, sir. What? But they seems awful expensive. Yep, too expensive for me, but I reckon they'd be perfect for someone like you, your honor. It's a kind gesture, but legal ethics that I can't accept such gifts. Oh, ethics methics, just take them if you want them. And polish them up real nice for you, too. I'm sorry about the shoes, Mr. Filch, but I will accept your testimony. The court would like to hear whether you saw the Tenmataro in the foyer after the murder. At the time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. Kirby have asked. I was making sure no one fair, foul, fishy, or otherwise would get to our guest. I was still in my office keeping a good watch when the murder happened after 3 PM. I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary, no sir. That yokai you kept jabbering about on was a phantom of a little girl's dreams. So, you're telling this court you never saw anyone dressed up like Tenmataro? Yep, was guarding the whole time. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth. I love that for some reason. And Tenmataro, I don't really believe in all yokai mumbo jumper, do you? I certainly don't. Oh, you definitely do. My bracelet. It's... Something the matter, Apollo? My bracelet keeps squeezing my arm. Really? So, you think Mr. Mr. Filch has really lied to us? I wouldn't rule it out. Now, if I could just zero in on some sort of nervous habit. What in the absolute... What's a hawk doing in here? I don't know. Allow me to introduce my trusty Shohort Taka. He seems to have taken quite a liking to the courthouse. Made it his new home, in fact. It doesn't live with you? No, in jail? You ever heard of a courthouse murder? Taka simply loathes trickery and frauds. And that queer power of yours seemed to have offered my dear Bosom Buzzard. What? This isn't some sort of trick, or... I won't be able to squat like this. What the heck is going on around here? Run for the hills! That no pets or animals allowed in the courtroom. Somebody help. Oh, he's merely having a bit of spots. Won't harm you. Save when truly famished. In that case, Prosecutor Blackwell, you will ensure your feathered friend is properly fed. Looks like we have to do it the old-fashioned way. We'll be fine, I think. If it was someone dressed as Telmataro there, Filch would have seen them. We just have to put our faith in Jinx's statement for now. Mr. Justice, please proceed with your cross-examination. Yeah, I know exactly what it is. Hold on. We can just skip to the time, because we first of all already read this anyway. I love the mention of nothing but nothing. There we go. Present the evidence of Schwablu. Because that was after 3 p.m. Don't lie to the court like that, Mr. Filch. It ain't right to bushwhack a fella like that. Unfortunately for you, I have evidence that proves you're lying. If you look at this TV listing here, you'll see that at the time of the crime, there was a pro wrestling match scheduled. Something you'd never miss. Yeah. I didn't watch that one, no sir. I was doing my job just like I was supposed to. This guy doesn't know when to give up. Mr. Filch, someone even circled the match. It was you, right? Yeah. Not only that, you even told me you've been watched it. You said it, and I quote, "It was a complete disaster." So, do you admit of slacking off? You can't trick me with your Rudy poor lower talk. I'm one of those professional types too. I can do double duty watching TV and the foyer at the same time. The only thing Filch can claim to be a professional of is a professional thief. To be honest, that's fair. Oh, the bird is gone. Mr. Justice, you would have this court believe the witness was slacking off. That's correct. He claims to have been watching the TV and the foyer at the same time. But that's not but a bald-faced lie. Bald, you say? I'm not the one who's lying. Perhaps you meant a witness, Mr. Justice. But in that case, let's see what evidence you can offer. You claim... Okay, yeah, simple. The way to prove it is basically how everything was moved out. The TV is there, you can't see this shit. Please take a look at the direction of the TV. The direction the TV is facing in the diagram. Now, unless Finch has eye where his right shoulder should be, or right ear should be, I think it would be impossible to watch the foyer entrance and the TV at the same time. Why yes! Someone watching the TV would possibly see the entrance. Exactly, and that means, Mr. Filch, you were slacking off and were not watching the foyer as you claim. The bag's out of the cat, I mean, the other way around. I love his standing on a box of oranges. Order, everyone, order! But, Mr. Justice, is Mr. Filch less than stellar work ethic relevant to this case? It's very relevant because while he was slacking off watching TV, there really could have been a Telmataro impersonator in the foyer. What now? Granted, this Tanuki was lax in his duties, but he still did have the foyer entrance covered. What are you talking about? This. I'm not mind reader. Oh, the tourist senses. His eye may have been slacking off, but his ears were still hard at work. Right, Tanuki? They were? I mean, yes. Yeah, they were. But you already admitted to slacking off. Now you say you weren't. It might be lazy, but I ain't. I would have heard anyone in the foyer. You see the foyer floor, the stairway, get all creaky squeaky when someone walks on them. Creak, creak, creak. Loud enough to wake the dead, I reckon. So you're saying you didn't hear anybody walk by? Yep, my ears were working full time, so who's the liar now? You no good liar, shister. A lying thief calling me a shister. This has to be a low point of my fledgling career. Gotta hand it to you, Mr. Blackwell, sir. You really ain't something else. And you don't miss a thing. And them bags under your eyes, they're darker than mine. Fair warning, Mr. Filch. Taka is particularly fond of Tanuki. Should you lie to this court again, you may suddenly find yourself on the menu. Please don't eat me, Mr. Taka, sir. The witness will henceforth testify truthfully under the penalty of painful bird attacks. And with that in mind, the court requests that the witness revise his testimony accordingly. Well, it's going good so far. I'm definitely gonna ball something up later on. It was true, I was watching the pro wrestling match on the TV, on the office TV. My eyes might have been slacking off, but my ears, they were working overtime. The floor there all creaked squeakily like no way I would have missed something walk by. You see, there weren't no Tenma Tower in the foyer. Superstition is the religion of feeble minds. Understand? A simple, rational explanation is best. Forget yokai, demons, and such. We must use common sense, for lacking in that our entire world would be put upside down. Says the convict prosecutor is totally a sign of the end for the legal world. Kinda. Besides, it wasn't any yokai roaming about at Nabin, seldom, and to the zoo. I wonder whether the Jinxie was seeing things. That seems to be the general consensus, but I'm sticking to my guts. But if we can't prove she was Temataro, she saw Temataro, the mayor's sure to be convinced. Then we better hope my guns fire bullets, not BBs. Did first may cross-examine the witness yet again. Okay.
Hold it!
You lied earlier about taking your guard duty seriously, didn't you? Oh, and that? I know harm been bending the truth a little, right? Listen to me, you little Tanuki. Lie again, and Taka shall feast upon that forked tongue of yours. Sorry, let me just keep my tongue. At least leave it until we get the truth out of him in any case. You were neglecting in your duties, were you not? Yes, sir, I was, sir. But it ain't like that.
Hold it!
So, you have a pretty good ear, Mr. Filch. As good as it come, I'd say. Ain't nothing here to hear a creaky floor. Plus, that Tamatara makes a sound when he goes by. It's like a jingle jangle. He doesn't have a staff. But he realized there is something jingling jangling. Jingle dangling. How does he do that? Is that a staff of his? That's what jingle jangles. What's he talking about, Apollo? Beats me, but I get Tamatara has a staff that makes a noise. Come to think of it, didn't Jinxie mention something like that too? Yeah, which is the worst thing, because we didn't know about that. I guess that's the source of the noise then. Well, Mr. Justice, Mr. Filch says that Matara jingles. What do you consider vital information? Very important. Jiggle jiggle. You're gonna jiggle. Not jiggle. Yeah, that is important. Because his staff... Wait, hold on here. Yeah. I'm just checking, just in case. But I think it's this. The stall document showing Tamatara looks like. It seems to those too foolish. Yeah, but this thing, because it doesn't have a staff. Tenmataro's staff would make a jangly sound, if you say. Well, I'm going to say that your story doesn't add up. Is there something to the defender would like to share with the court? Mr. Filch, just say that you didn't see Telmataro on the day of the incident. Why then did you assume just now that Telmataro would be holding a staff? Huh? You see, the Telmataro Jinx you saw held a staff in his hands. And she described its sound just like you did. A kind of jangly sound. Yeah, so he was holding a staff. What's your point? The point is that Telmataro doesn't use a staff. Not normally. What are you talking about? You see, this is the only known document describing Telmataro. Is there a staff in that picture, Mr. Filch? You're right, there's no staff. Not even a cane or a walking stick. Yeah. So the question is, why does the witness think Telmataro uses staff? I believe the answer will overturn the prosecution's case on the most basic level. Well now, this is getting interesting. Alright, Mr. Justice, it's time to show the court where you're going with this. Please tell the court why Mr. Filch believes Telmataro carries a staff. Because he actually saw him. Mr. Filch actually saw Telmataro right after the crime occurred. That's the only way he could possibly know about the staff. Bloody hell. I love he said bloody hell as well. Yes, how did that feel, Blackwell? No fun when you're the one receiving the end of the blade, is it? Admit it, Mr. Filch. You did see Telmataro that day, didn't you? Well... I'm begging you, please don't make me say it. But clearly you did see Telmataro. Stop stalling and testify that fact. No can do, no way, no how. I ain't got no idea how terrifying he can be. He? Mr. Phil still won't admit to seeing Telmataro, even though everyone knows he did. The question now is why? Mr. Filch seems scared to death. Is this why he can't admit the truth? Come to think of it. They say you must not gaze upon Telmataro, but in the event that you do look, and then tell anyone what you saw, Telmataro will claim your soul. It's either that or it's the other guy. Jinxie wouldn't admit seeing Telmataro after hearing about the village superstition. She said that she told anyone she would have had seen Telmataro, he'd claim her soul. Wait, you think Filch believes that too? Yeah, so Mr. Big Time Sky Slicker Lawyer has heard about them. Them old village superstitions. Will the defense please explain what the witness is talking about? The people of Ninetail Vales believe some pretty strange things. Oh, my ear started itching, hold on. And their superstitions may be the reason our witness here can't admit the truth. The truth that he really did see Telmataro. Down straight, that's why. It's all right here. Oh, village superstitions. Do not gaze upon Telmataro. Do not tell other if you see him. Ignore the superstitions will cost you your soul. There is, however, one way to save it. Your immediate departure from the village. Freeing him will bring ruin upon the village. Ignore the superstitions will cost you your soul. See? That's why us folks in Ninetail Vale can't talk about seeing Telmataro. Yeah, but you left actually the village. That clears up one mystery. The killer took advantage of the superstitions by wearing the Telmataro costume. They knew that that no one would talk about him, so it was all as if he never existed. The defense hold that this Telmataro impersonator is the real killer. What?
Objection!
Superstitions, you say? What kind of a fool would actually believe such rubbish? And why would using some silly fairy tale could so easily expose the culprit? You'll need to come up with a more rational, common sense explanation than that.
Objection!
The common sense seems awfully narrow in minded to me, Prosecutor Blackwell. Try living in a world of narrow cells, mortal danger, and dark, sleepless nights. There's no lack of superstitions in the clink, but few are those who truly believe in them. Well, the village superstitions are real enough for the people of Nine-Tail Vales. A life or death through superstitions might make even you a believer. Yeah, apparently we got him. The order, everyone, order, I say. You fool of a Tanuki. 2 times now, you lies have cost me. Sorry, I promise not do it again. Yeah. Taka, my fine feather friend. Have at him. He's gonna eat me alive! Head for the hills! No, he's actually running. It took off. Bye, Leaf! What are you waiting for? After him! With your fastest men. That's certainly not something you see every day. A Tanuki running? What are you talking about? I see it every day. How long did it take? Well, it would seem that our new important fact has come to light. A third party disguised as the yokai Tenmatara was at the scene. And now we have 2 witnesses who can attest for that fact. Any objection, Prosecutor Blackwell? Apparently not. Either that or his few brain cells are working. Uh-oh. That's not good. His shackles. I'm too young to die. Justice Doe. Long has it been since I've been forced to draw my blade. You had best to say your prayers, save your prayers. Or say them. He's hiding. Who else is shitting their pants right now in this place? Other than just the judge. And probably us. Detective, do something! I have no feel for it is here. When the going gets tough, the champion of justice gets going. Then get going already before he kills us. Oh, but I stand in awe of Simon Blackwell. For it is his sense of justice that sets him free. Objection to have Detective Fulbright's deficient of justice. I love the panic right now just going on because of that.
Silence.
Did his voice actually change? Before it was basically just like a little more nicer, and now it's just that. I'm not in the habit of cutting down unarmed cowards. Well, in that case, Professor Blackwell, can I ask you to, I think the judge forgets he's in charge here. So, Justice Dono's assertion is this. Tenmataro is the real killer, not Major Tenma. According to him, there was a yokai in the scene of the crime. Right, that yokai, or rather whoever was impersonating him, killed an Alderman Kyubi. Care to explain why just Jinxie, being the first to discover the murder, did not see our alleged killer yokai there in the Fox Chamber? He's right. She said nothing about Tenmataro being in the Fox Chamber. Let me enlighten you. A little scamp heard a dying scream right before. I kind of forgot how he did to do his voice right now. He opened the chamber door. And your point is? Upon opening the door, she found a freshly skewed victim. The homicidal maniac who had killed him. No, there must have been someone dressed up at the... Then why doesn't the little scamp claim not to have seen a yokai? in the Fox Chamber. Considering her father is accused for murder, surely would have mentioned that its third party might have been in the room. I don't understand. Why didn't she see Tenmataro inside the Fox Chamber? There is but none other way to find out. Ask Jigensi Tenma whether she saw your killer Jokai at the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. The final battle draws nigh. Only one of us leaves here alive. Long as my blade thirsts for blood, as long as it shall seated. Wait, this is still a trial, right? Show me what you're truly capable of. Justice Donut. Very well then, both parties no doubt seem some time to regroup. So the court will take a 10-minute recess in order to... 3 minutes? I'm sorry, but a 3-minute recess! Just so. Plenty of time if your destination of intent is the loo. The loo? You mean bathroom? Jeez, at least include enough time to wash your hands. See that you take no more time than 3 minutes. All latecomers will be punished. Yes, sir, I hereby declare 3-minute recess before the battle begins. I declare Prosecutor Blackwell the winner of the round of Simon Says. It doesn't bode well for us in the prosecutors running the show, does it? Wait, was this the balloon game or was the other one the balloon game? I know I'm trying to remember which one was the balloon game. Or the clown with the balloon. The balloon honkers. He busted out of his shackles. Yeah, what was that all about? Guess they don't make shackles like they used to. Better be careful, Apollo. You really brought out the samurai in him. Especially after you proved there was a Tenmataro impersonator at the manor. What's with that guy and the whole samurai act anyway? Such fine swordsmanship. There is no mere act. Mr. Justice, it's high time I challenge this jailhouse prosecutor to a duel. No, wait, let's save the dueling until after we prove your innocence. I suppose it could wait till later. Does anyone remember we're conducting a trial here? Athena, I'm going to wash up. Remember what Blackwell said, Apollo. Don't be late. And now then, I believe our next witness is Miss Jinxie Tenma, a maid of Cuban Manor. I believe we're proven now, if the witness is ready, that is. I can't even pronounce that. Leader of the 100 demons. He really does exist. Wow, that's one well-polished tray. The witness will show her face while in court, where her testimony will be unadmissible. What is this, my child? Begone, the demon. Leader of the 100 demons. Oh, you think I'm okay? Well, I was known as a juridical monster of sort. The beast of the bar, the demon of the due process, if you will. My charm has no effect. The demon of due process. Not sure I can see that one. No, you little scum. Yes. I trust you know why you're here. Bags. Bags? Oh, that's Trixie Tanuki. Try the noodle stand and go enjoy a big bowl of Tanuki tail noodles while you're at it. Everyone's a comedian. No, I mean your bags. The one under your eyes. You must have trouble sleeping. Here, this charm will keep Azukirai away. Asukirai, a yokai that washes Asuki beans. The only thing needed washing will be your father's neck, before I take his head off clean. Asuki often keeps people up at night with the noises he makes washing beans. But if you stick this charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore. Is that so? Well, thank you. Looks like Prosecutor Blackwell got more than he bargained for. They're bad enough alone, but together the two are just plain creepy. Your testimony, if you please, Miss Temma. Specifically whether or not you saw Temma Taro when you discovered the crime scene. Did I see Tenma Taro in the Fox Chamber? Well, when I opened the door, I saw, yes. Now I remember. Yokai. Yokai right there in that room. I think I remember this part of the game, actually. So, there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Lots of them. Wait, more than one yokai? Did Tenma Taro happen to be among them? I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is the room was swimming in yokai. Kasha, Nurikabe, Setutaisho. They were everywhere. Well, this is an unexpected turn of events. We've gone from one no yokai to a flood of them. This is ludicrous. You would have this court listen to this delusional little scam's testimony. Your Honor, I believe her testimony is simply clouded by fear. But a quick therapy session would ease her mind. With the court's permission, of course. What a fabulous idea! Please proceed, Miss Ikes. You sure you know what you're doing, Athena? She obviously obviously not herself. The trauma of discovering that crime scene and fear of testifying have her dazed and confused. A regular ball of confusion. But my analysis for the psychology-based approach should be able to help. Any objection with Prosecutor Blackwell? Shall we let Miss Sykes proceed? It makes no difference to me. Do as you will, but I doubt we shall get any viable testimony. She better off served by bearing witness to the sword skills I forged in a distant land. I'll show you. Is it loading? What the fuck is going on? Whoa, that took some moments. Just dead silence. Whoa. Yeah, she is freaking out apparently. Did I see Tenma Taro in the Fox Chamber? Well, when I saw them open the door, I saw... Yes, now I remember. Yokai. Yokai right there in that room. Found something. Looks like an out-of-control emotion. Fucking yokais everywhere. Athena, what exactly are we looking at here? Oh, this is one of Widget's functions. Right here you can see the images of emotion extracted from the witness voice. Oh, you mean that little thing can do all this? Pretty cool, huh? And there I thought that was just some kid's toy. Unfortunately, all I'm getting is overflown error right now. Yeah, it's everywhere. See how sad is brightly lit there at the bottom left? She's an uncontrollable... It's just under an uncontrollable amount of distress, which is masking her other emotions. It seems the sheer terror she experienced has made her a confused mess. So, all those yokais she thinks she saw were product of rampart emotions. Yes, that's right. Her fear has insisted in her hallucinations and instilled her in her hallucinations and false memories. She's seeing normal everyday objects as monsters in her mind. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucination brought on by emotional trauma. And the trauma in Jinx's case is fear. So, she was and still is seeing ordinary objects as yokai. We have to find the root cause of her fear before I can treat it. Now, let's see. Apollo, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? She seems particularly terrified of that one. Start by pressing probe. Next, point out what causing Jinx is out of motion control. Finally, hit probe again and try to get... Okay. And now we load in some stuff. I'm pretty certain it didn't have a load in when you did the 3DS version. So it's interesting it needs to load so much, but at the same time it's 3 games as well. Jinxie, what's the name of that yokai on the Wheel of Fire? That's Kasha. Yokai that steals the bodies of the recently deceased. I bet it came to steal the aldermans. It's almost creepy how well that fits the actual situation. Exactly, it's a form of hallucination where the patients can see things for what they are. There must be something at the scene of the crime that she's mistaken as Kasha. Apollo, you need to point out what she thought was the yokai on the Wheel of Fire. I think I know the answer now. Jinxie, it wasn't Kasha you saw. It was this thing. The light fixture. This one right here. It has a flame design and it's up in the ceiling. There was never a yokai on the Wheel of Fire. The Kasha you saw was just a light fixture. There you go, we managed to fix one of them. That's one memory back to normal. Nice job. Now you got the hang of it. It should be a kinch of point out the rest. Jinxie, what about the white wall monster? That's Nurikabe. It's a wall monster that blocks your way or leads you astray. That's no yokai, Jinxie. It's a folding screen. And this raccoon dog isn't a tanuki monster. It's just a statue of one. And look, these are just coffee cups. And this right here, it's nothing more than a fox statue. I don't know. Oh. Apparently we broke her plate. Oh, she has a new one. But we are only at 50% noise. We're gonna do some more stuff. You did it, Apollo. Her extreme fear is under control now. It was all just my eyes playing trick on me. They weren't any yokais after all. See? A clear-cut statement. That's the power of psychology and your intuition, Apollo. And just like we thought, they were really were any yokai in the fox chamber. Right. There never really was any yokai there. So, the defense asserting the exact opposite of the original assertion. Wait, Jinxie, what about Tenmataro? There wasn't anyone there dressed up as Tenmataro or any other yokai either. I remember it clearly now. You gotta be kidding, or joking, or both. The order in court. I think we just dug our own graves. Allow me to push you on in. It's at least I could do. Apollo, can I interrupt your freak out for just a minute? Also, for first of all, you freaked out as well. I'm still picking up some noise. It's an unexpected emotion. Does that mean Jinx hasn't remembered everything yet? Exactly, we should be able to get something else out of her. I'll enter the new information we have and run an update. Okay, so... Wait, hold on. Whoop! No. Okay, so... Did I see Tamataro in the Fox Chamber? When I entered the room... My legs gave out to the... Okay, so now we have an updated emotion here. Okay, so she saw both of them, yes. The alderman's dead on the table and Papa collapsed in the chair. Nobody else was there, and that includes Tamataro. But what is the unexpected emotion? Wait, what am I supposed to do? Try find an emotion that contradicts your statement. So if I find a contradictory emotion, I should point it out. That's right, but it's not just contradictory emotion you should look out for. You should all keep an eye out for sudden changes in her emotion intensity. Her emotions might get stronger or weaker as you move from statement to statement. It's important to compare how the same emotion changed through the testimony. Contradicting her emotions and changes in intensity. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Okay, so she is sad and a bit shocked. I was so scared when I entered the room. My legs gave out and I fell to the floor. In the chamber I saw Alderman's dead at the table and Papa collapsed in the chair. Nobody else was there. Something I feel is weird is why isn't she as sad here? Wait, which one am I marking? This one. It is this one, right? Because it wasn't as sad. She calmed down from it. The amount of fear you felt rather low despite your legs having given out from fright. Could something have lessened your fear? Nah, actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage at the moment. You did? Where did it come from? Let me think. Oh, it was Mama. I suddenly felt as she was there with me. Okay, I entered a sudden burst of courage. Now, let's see. Ah, look! Oh, well, interesting. Okay. Apollo, the noise is gone. Jinxie seems to have remembered everything now. Well, fair enough. A sudden burst of courage. Now, where could that have come from? Jinxie, were there something that gave you a sudden burst of courage? Yes, there was, but, I realized I had done something naughty when I thought about it later. And I did what could have given Jinxie that courage. Well, there is one piece of evidence that comes in mind. I wonder if she saw something like it at the scene of the crime. Jinxie, did your sudden burst of courage have anything to do with this? Apparently not. Also, I don't know why I put that first. I should have done the flower. Because, as she said, if she felt her mother being close. So I think it actually is the flower, because that was something her mother's favorite. Jinxie, you didn't happen to see a nine-tailed flower there at the scene, did you? The demon lawyer strikes again. I can't hide anything from you. I found a small case with a picture of a nine-tailed flower on it. I liked it so much I kept it. You what? You can't remove evidence from the crime scene. That's right, young lady. Removing evidence is a big no-no. Now, the witness will proceed said evidence. Produce said evidence this isn't. Sorry. It does seem to be some sort of case. Oh, look, something slid out. It appears to be a key. Might I have a look, your baldness? This is none other than the master key to Kyubi Manor. Are you certain of this, Prosecutor Blackwell? It matches the serial number of the key that went missing after the murder. A master key that went missing. Why don't I like the sound of that? Our little scamp has stumbled upon an article of unimaginable consequence. That's a little melodramatic, don't you think? Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. The sole key to the Fox Chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. Ergo, she was the sole person who could have used it before, during, and after the murder, which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key was found in a room that had been locked by this girl. And your point is, until Jinxie Tenma opened the Fox Chamber with her key, the room had been locked tight from the other outside world. And there's no one else in there save the victim and his killer. I trust you have figured it out for yourself by now. A killer other than Major Tenma himself would be utterly inconceivable. Does everyone forget the Fox Chamber, or like the other door?
Objection!
How could this happen? The defense assistant will refrain from growling her frustrations. Athena, are you alright? I know Major Tenma's innocent, but there's nothing we can do. This sucks. Sykes don't. Allow me to put you out of your misery. Can I decline your offer? Abandon your client as your misplaced faith in him. Let the relief of clear head and clean conscience come rushing in. That will make the inevitable guilt verdict far easier to accept. Great, now he's playing Simon Says with us. Well, he's not going to fool us with his stupid mind games. Athena, don't fall for his tricks. Now I'm the one dazed and confused. I can't even think straight. Hey, are you alright? She fell right into his trap. Now I suggest you make a mad dash for the courtroom and into the wild blue yonder. Only by running shall your mind be cleared and your conscience cleansed. Alright, I'll be back in Stay with me, Athena. Don't let yourself be twisted by a samurai. Apollo. Mr. Justice, I heard the word objection, but what is your objection to? Oh, right. The objection was more of a reflex than anything else. I was hoping for something could come to me while I was trying to stop Athena. The courtroom is waiting, Mr. Justice, though as it stands now, we'll be forced to declare your client guilty and your legal skills suspect if this is it. Now, do you have anything that could overturn the prosecution's case? Well, actually, I do. Okay, fair enough. Apollo, you do have something more than your Course of Steel, don't you? Not really, but we'll be fine. But I got absolutely nothing, but that's never stopped me before. I had to explain how the killer could have escaped that locked room, because it's all over if I don't. Apollo, this calls for a new approach. Don't try to think outside the box, or in case inside the box, and what Dozy locked the room is, and what a Dozy locked room is too. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have anything that could counter the prosecution's argument? You bet I do. The real killer must have escaped from the locked room one way or another. Vague conjecture shall only earn you a taste of my blade. Time to do or die, literally. The defense will now explain how it would be possible to escape the locked room. You sure about this, Apollo? You can't really explain what happened. I'm fine. We just need to think about this whole escaping a locked room thing over from the beginning. So, let's see. If the killer had escaped, how could they have done so? Well, the choices are pretty limited. The room has a window, but it doesn't open wide enough for anyone to get through, and there is a sheer cliff outside. As for the air vents, it's up too high, and there is nothing you could do to stand on to reach it. And needless to say, the forbidden chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did, so that's out. Yeah, that's why we got to keep the solution simple. Like they say, simple is best. We need to rule out all of the absolute impossible escape routes. Then whatever left just might lead us to how the Fox Chamber was compromised. Your Honor, the defense proposed that the killer escaped through here. I'm gonna do this. And nah, apparently not. The question is then, because he did escape through the hallway, he just hid somewhere, that's all. Should we just do this here? The hallway door? Well, yes, I suppose that would be the only way out. It would appear you already forgotten the only available key until Jinxie Tenma came on the scene was with that locked room. How could one exit the Fox Chamber and then lock it without a key? I should have seen this coming. Remember, Apollo, keep it simple. Simple, right. I could understand it if the killer had exited the room with the key, but... Well, Mr. Justice, the prosecution has some fine Japanese steel waiting unless you explain yourself quickly. I'm fine, I can explain myself. The reason the Fox Chamber's hallway door was locked was because... Locked it from the inside? Wait. The perp locked it from outside. It didn't lock it from the outside. It locked on its own. Maybe the Tenma locked it himself after the killer fled the scene. No, no, okay, no, that... I didn't know what I was thinking there right now. I think of my brain going mush again. Going mush mush. Well, they have the steel at least, or the bladeless blade. Okay, so... The reason the Fox Chamber hallway door was locked was because it locked on its own. Locked on its own? Maybe the door... Okay, apparently not. Okay, I think I take it thinking too far, because my mind thinks like this now. They were in the chamber, one of them got murdered, She saw that, called the police, and when she was going back, Tenmataro came out. Which means that it was locked in between there, which means that for some reason he opened it up. So that is why my mind is kind of not going straight to like when it was opened, because they think like it was opened afterwards or like closed afterwards. But it's kind of a bit odd because it was like open. The perp locked it from outside. What if the room was locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key through the hallway door, then locked it. Ow. Consider this. The master key was found inside the tightly locked forked chamber. Any assertion that the key was removed from that room is blatant contradiction in fact. Exiting the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside. But the key was found inside the room, which does seem like a contradiction. If only we could explain both. Like how the key could get inside the room and be used to lock the door from outside. Well, let's see the defense respond before Prosecutor Blackwell draws his sword. How could the master key be at a crime scene despite the room being locked tight? Threw it in from the outside. What if someone threw it into the room from the outside? You know, something like go out the hallway door, lock the door, and then toss the key back through the window. That would explain how the master key would be inside the locked room. And where would you throw it from? There is a cliff outside the Fox Chamber window. Throwing the key in from there is an impossibility. Oh, right. The vent. I wonder if the key would have been tossed in from somewhere other than the window. Somewhere other than the window, They haven't. Yes, the window may be out of the question, but the air vent is not. Oh, that's right. The Fox Chamber's air duct leads out into the hallway. That's right. The real killer entered the air duct from the vent outside the Fox Chamber. Dropped the key into the room through the vent inside the Fox Chamber. That's preposterous. Oh, that explains how the key got in there after it was used to lock the door perfectly. Yeah, Mr. Justice, I'm afraid I'm a bit confused. Don't worry. I'll explain it so even your honor can understand. First, the real killer disguised as Tenmataro murdered Alderman in the Fox Chamber. Then they fled the room through the hallway and locked it. Next, they entered the air duct from the vent outside the hallway. Finally, the killer tossed the key into the room through the air vent from the ceiling there. All was just left to do was going back through the duct and flee the manor. Well, Your Honor, could that be any clearer? Amazing! Even I could follow that! It just seems really pleased. That explains everything. The real killer was someone dressed up as Tenmataro. And there was someone else other than the mayor and the alderman in that room. Order, everyone, order, I say! Now that I've proven the possibility of a third party, I don't see how the client could be guilty.
Silence.
A valiant effort, Justice Donor, but your final thrust missed the mark. Both that little scamp and the tricksy Tanuki saw the yokai after it left the room. But then what? Did that irksome yokai simply through the foyer and waltz right out the front door? That's exactly what happened. The killer fled the... But that is impossible. Without being spotted by the foyer security camera, that is. The electric eye were here would have captured that pesky little yokai, trying to escape. Yo, Maestro, welcome to the stream. Yes, I like a burger and some fries. Yeah, that's probably the wrong order, but that sounds really good actually. How are you doing? I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. However, there is no sign of Telmataro anywhere in the security footage. What? Save for the foyer entrance, there is no other way to flee the manor, is there? Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Wait, I believe there is some other way to escape besides the foyer entrance. Yeah, it's a day. It could have been better, but for once I don't feel that bad. How about you? That's fair enough, actually. I'm doing good. I've just been working on some 3D rendering of my library and just watching some streams and stuff. So it's been good. Slow day, but good. There's a large window in the foyer. It's possible to escape through there without being seen by the security camera. Hey, you are right. I must point out every crucial detail to the defense. It seems you lack only not brains, but investigative prowess to boot. That is the cliff side of the manor. The only killer escaping that way would be a dead one. Well, I kinda already have an explanation of that. Basically, it was a costume, and that's why people see the flying Tenmataro. Wait. Nice. So, who's the edgy birdman? That is our convict and prosecutor, both to boot, Blackquill. Not joking, he has apparently murdered someone, and he is a convict, and apparently is allowed to be a prosecutor as well, because apparently they are supposed to work as well. Don't know the logic of that, though. Wait, so the killer didn't escape out the foyer window. What the heck, right? I suppose your proposal is the killer sprouted wings and flew off in the sunset. That would mean the killer really was a yokai. If only we had some sort of evidence that would point to a flying killer. Which we have. Who's saying we don't? As a complete far-fetched as it might be. What? You say you can prove that the killer could fly? Well, I thought I was the one with the cords of steel. Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Your Honor. What evidence do you have that the killer flew away? If he was defending himself, that'd be normal, but he's working as an actual prosecutor, yes. He is working as a prosecutor, because even convicts has to work. And I'm sitting here like, mate, are you for real? Not only that, he does actually have handcuffs on, but he broke them. Take a look at this special edition paper. Tenmataro real phalite for fancy. What does that actually prove me? The photo in that article was taken shortly after the murder. Maybe the joke in that photo is the killer shortly after they flew out the window. But Mr. Justice, you're not serious suggesting... I am serious. I mean, it all adds up. The killer disguised as Tenmataro flew away. You know, by some way or another.
Silence.
So those Chakalovists, they don't fit together right now. Some countries have their convicts work, but it's usually manual labor. Fair enough, but apparently he's allowed to work as his old work. I imagine it's naught but trick photography. Or some other form or artifice. Okay, then how about the Tenmataro figure Mr. Flynn saw? It just vanished into thin air. No, there is a rational common sense explanation for that. That infernal Trixie Tunaki witnessed were never reached that entrance. He, or should I say she, turned back before the camera's electrical eye. She... I don't like where this is going a bit. Now, for the facts known, the yokai had come from the Fox Chamber. Means that it was likely either Major Tenma, Damien Tenma, or his daughter Jinxie Tenma. However, we know that the Major Tenma was already unconscious at the time. Not good, not good at all. Do you understand the gravity of the situation? No, Justice Donna. I love that everyone is like, there no yokai exist. 2 people have seen / heard a yokai, and for some reason no one here thinks it's a masquerade, but everyone thinks it's real. I was like, oh yeah, he could fly. No, it's just a goddamn costume flying in the wind. The falsified yokai remains. And the appearance of Tenma Taro were the work of one individual. And that individual is no other than Jinxie Tenma. Yeah, kind of felt where that was going. That's Jinxie, by the way. I was wondering, because I tried to figure out last time if Tenma meant something, and apparently it means witch, demon, or evil spirit. Which makes sense, because she's called Jinxie Tenma, and she's a little witch. Her father kinda looks like some sort of shaman, witch, warlock, you know. And not only that, Tenma Taro. Basically demon. Or evil spirit. So I do love that it actually fits. Order! The defense will stop competing for the greatest freakout ever! The little scamp was no doubt simply trying to protect her father. And it's no wonder that her superstitious mind conjured up this mad masquerade. A prosecutor Blackwood's assertion makes perfect sense to me. It's far convincing that saying the killer escaped by flying out the window. Did you not truly believe this could end any other way? Did we fall right into his trap? No idea. What do we do now, Apollo? Our case no longer stands without a real yokai. If only we had one. By leave. Caesar, it is time if I interrogated her as the summary of your work. Oh, someone said hold it. I think I know who it is. Yep, father. Mayor Tenma. This farce is over. How does it feel seeing your own daughter accused of a cover-up most foul? Tenma Taro's true identity. No, Premier. It would be futile at this point to claim you were the yokai. After all, you have been knocked out cold by blow to the skull. Oh. If we went for the meaning in last names, then it would be a vampire. I'm not, so it's bullshit to go after last names. If we went for the meaning in last names, then I could be a vampire, fair enough. So it's bullshit to go after last names. That's fair, but basically this is a game, so it more or less fits with thought of how they look. For example, as you see this guy, he has just these talismans on his goddamn skull and those things that Demon has around his shoulders. And not only that, Jinxie does looks like a little like witch thing as well. Consider this well. As it stands, your daughter's arrest. My Hungarian name, I have 2 last names, and it means something from Transylvania. Ah, fair enough. My last name just means something like those from the south, because it's a British name. And that more or less explains why I'm calling the Lord of the South. because it comes from the last name. But if you confess, the prosecution would be willing to overlook her little yokai farce. Confess! The defendant intend to confess! Wait. Apollo Prosecutor Blackwell's up to his mind games again. Major Tenma, no, don't fall for his twisted words. If you were sent away for murder, Jinxie will be left alone. The real killer is... Major Tenma is going to confess unless we do something. But I can't prove how the real killer would have flown away. Ka. Look upon me, and despair for ripe is the time for my return. Huh? Uh-oh, I should watch what I wish for. Guess who's here now? Tenmataro. Ka. Foolish mortals. I am Tenmataro, the yokai you seek. Mayor Tenma. Silence. I am Tenmataro. Freed from the bonds binding me to the Forbidden Chamber. Behold the return of the Demon King. What? The Demon King? Well then, I think it's time for me to take a vacation. I have no idea what he's trying to do here. Witness, he will explain himself. Are you saying you're Tenmataro, the yokai we have been chasing this whole time? Indeed, it is. Tenmataro, the one who you seek. Come to reveal the truth. Oh, yeah, ads. In the midst of Tenmataro being here, I'm gonna wait for a moment. I'm gonna wait for a moment for the ads. I like my two fans. They really work well. They really work well on wonders. Yep, you're just gonna sit there and look at this face. I do wonder if they did the same thing as I've seen other games do with like the black outlines, which is basically just like another mesh that is just bigger than the normal one, but it's just like painted black. And wherever you have the no other mesh, you don't see anything. There you go. Welcome back, everybody, from the ads. I was just sitting here talking about like the black outlines because there was some place that explained that some of them were made by having another mesh outside of the other one that is just completely black, but where the mesh underneath is, would this just be transparent? For example, like on his like shoulder and stuff, there's like the black outline. You can see that because you can basically see that part. But otherwise, you can't see anything else, really. Or was it was just outside in? So that's why you can see it, because it technically is turned around to face us. I don't remember fully, but that's kind of how it worked. So Tenma is a yokai now. Ka. His body is mine. You're saying that Tenma is being possessed by you? That the yokai Jinxie, Tenma, and Phineas Flynn saw? That one was captured by the newspaper photo. Those were you. The accused power of these warding charms prevented me from revealing my true form. Your boldness. Can this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt? Well, a confession by a yokai would be quite unprecedented. Be that as it may, the defense case has been overturned. What? You claim the yokai that little scamp saw. Yes, your baldness. It calls him your baldness. You claim the yokai that the little scamp saw was some third party, the true killer. The one who escaped the locked fox chamber. But it was the accused all along. Talk about rude. Do you really think he gives a shit, actually? He has a bird in here, he is unshackled, and he talks just shit. He says whatever he wants. I don't think he gives a damn. Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned out to be the real, in a manner of speaking. For the Alderman's killer is no one other than Major Tenma, and the yokai at the scene. That too was Major Tenma, or should I say, our dear Tenma Taro. The pieces have fallen into place. How so, Prosecutor Blackwell? There we go. It seems I must spell it out for you. Major Temna killed the alderman in the Fox Chamber, which was locked at the time. He then removed the warning charms from the Forbidden Chamber door, but then fell unconscious from the blow the alderman had delivered to his head. That's when his daughter Jingsu Tenma stumbled on the scene of the crime. True, but also if you're able to somehow work as a prosecutor while being a convict, then being rude is a way to be told to get the fuck out and get sent back to your cell. Yes, but the problem with this guy, he is a prosecutor of mind games. He's basically capable of making people think the way he wants. So, yeah. Freed at last from the chamber's warden, Affect took possession of the mayor. The newly freed Tenma Taro then fled from the Fox Chamber. So you see, the yokai Jingsu Tenma saw was her father possessed by Tenma Taro. So basically, whenever he says something, he makes people think it is the right thing. So, yeah, he likes mind games, and if capable of being able to call someone something, they're just gonna make it just go past. How's that possible if it was supposed to have flown out the fire window? Then what? Do you mean to say the maid of the Kyubi Manor, Jingsu Tenma, was Tenma Taro? Oh. Ka. That too is easily explained. I flew about for a time, did I? Presently tired, I made for the Forbidden Chamber. But alas, the exhaustion took me unawareness in the Fox Chamber. I knew no more. It would seem the little pieces are still in place. Is Blackwell up to his tricks again? I don't know what to say. This is defendant a real life... Jesus. So they are letting a mind manipulator be a prosecutor. Right, not a bad idea at all. Yeah, exactly. It's a worst case scenario, I would say. Oh, shit, I just realized something. I'm gonna have to actually end my stream here. Yes, I am ending it. I'm gonna have to end it here, because I started the stream earlier, because I was gonna do a 3-hour stream. But I have D&D around 8 and want to eat some supper before that. I just saw the time now.